Good Yantav, everyone. Modim L'Simcha. Finally back home in the Sukkah after very long days. Beautiful days, Am Yisrael being together. But could not go to sleep unless we had just a few seconds of talking, learning, and singing a little bit about very incredibly powerful neshama, Rebbe Nachman of Breslov, Sukkah Aleinu. It's his Yartzeit tonight, his 218th Yartzeit. So we're going to sing a little in his honor, talk a little bit in his honor. Maybe say a word or two, keep it short and sweet, but wherever you are. Le'ilui nishmas Rabbeinu Nachman ben Feges Chos Yagen Aleinu. Favorite nigun of Breslov that you'd like us to sing, tape it in now. Hopefully we'll get to it. If not, we'll get to it another time. I'm actually looking. I just remembered about a song, a beautiful nigun in Breslov that I get the shivers. Literally, I get the shivers every time we sing it. I'm gonna look for the words as we're speaking. I'm sorry I didn't think of it before, but that's what happens. I think I could find it right here. Just a gorgeous... someone asked for the Breslov Lechadodi. Let's do that. Definitely. Okay, wherever you are, Chevra. Eloi Nishmas, Rebbe Nachman, please sing with us. This is in my Sukkah. All the kids are hopefully sleeping. Another beautiful, gorgeous, long, hot day. Another beautiful day tomorrow. Rebbe Nachman would always say that a person has to always be mitchadesh. A person always has to renew himself. Everyone wishes they knew the secret of renewal. Because feeling old is really not shaykh. Feeling zaken is something that no one wants to feel. But you don't only feel zaken, you don't only feel old when you're going into your mid-80s or mid-90s. You can feel old when you're 18. You can feel old when you're 21. You could feel old when you're 30. What was the Rebbe speaking about, Rebbe Nachman? You all know Rebbe Nachman passed away tonight, Chol HaMoed Sukkot in Uman, 218 years ago. And Rebbe Nachman himself was only 38 years old when he passed away. Rebbe Nassan, his Breslov, gave edus, he gave testimony that he was there and Rebbe Nachman was taking his last few breaths. He was there and Rebbe Nachman said the vidui, was saying the Shema. And Rebbe Nassan says that he could swear that when Rebbe Nachman was saying Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad on his deathbed, at the young age of 38 due to tuberculosis, he could swear, Rebbe Nassan could swear, he could promise that it was as if Rebbe Nachman was saying the Shema for the first time. You know, we saw here in Gush Etzion, painfully enough, about 9-10 days ago, how people live their Torah till their last breath. Like Ari Fuld lived his Torah till the last breath that he had, by protecting Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. Rebbe Nachman, till his last second, was living the Torah of Hitchadshut, of becoming new. So I give us all a bracha tonight, that when the gates are open on the Tzaddik's Yartzeit, it's the day that they re-welcomed the Neshama back to Shamayim, that in the Schut of Rebbe Nachman, all of us, you and I, should be privileged to give over to our children the secret of Hitchadshut, the secret of renewing themselves, of always feeling that yesterday really does not have to be our slave driver. Now, that was a famous teaching from Rebbe Nachman's great-grandfather, the Baal Shem Tov, who always said that our greatest slave drivers are our yesterdays. Maybe Rebbe Nachman was saying about Hitchadshut, about renewing yourself, was that do not ever let the limitations of yesterday, the pettiness of yesterday, or the fears of yesterday have anything to do with dictating to you what today is going to be like. So for many of us, we're about to go to sleep, hopefully. Some of you in the States, or wherever you are, it's a little bit earlier in the day. But whenever it is that we find ourselves with some type of anxiety, some type of fear, some type of a feeling of stress inside, stop and ask yourself, does this have anything to do with today? Or is this really a build-up from something that happened yesterday or a few minutes before? And that's why we say, really like my dear Chaver Liron just said, Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem, renew our days like they used to be. Like what? Back then, in the Garden of Eden, which we'll talk about in a second. So, we'll sing another Breslov Nigun. This is my favorite Nigun. I hold it, at Shabbos tables. No one has a heter not to be a Breslover when it comes to Zmiras and the Shabbos table. Doesn't matter where you're holding in life, doesn't matter how Yeshivish, Lubavitch, or Vizhnitz, or modern, or Zayit, whatever it is. Everyone has to learn the Breslover Zmiras. I got very inspired today. I was on the Moshav, and I saw the person who really taught me most of the Breslover Nigunim that I know, and that's Ben Zion Solomon, the famous Abba of probably half the bands that you listen to and that you like. So this is a nigun I learned from him. We sing it in our house every Shabbos, but I'll sing without the words, maybe. I mean, one time with the words, just to give you the taste of how it goes. machmas hashoyim shabbos habenim avos lo elirotzu kemincha machmas ashne kol cheche esashlu mechefel mez kol seche shoichem arofela nachlo lo yizke baru v'shofel nachalom nochak hashemesh lo zelcha hashoyim shabbos habenim avos lo kein lirotzu kemincha machmas So what's going on in the world today, and how on earth did this Rebbe become everyone's therapist today? How did that happen? How did that happen that Rebbe Nachman continues to remain a mystery? It's not like, oh, now we know what we had in the world. It's still a mystery. And it'll take years and years and years to, I guess, begin to realize that we still don't know. But what's happening in the world today? And why are people being drawn day after day? More and more and more people are being drawn to the teaching, to the energy, to the pathways of the great-grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, Rebbe Nachman of Breslov. Someone who passed away at the age of 38. What are we dealing with over here? You know, if you look at the amount of Torah that we have in Breslov, it's not volumes upon volumes upon volumes from Rebbe Nachman himself. Very little. But what we have, in the little that we have, Mayim Rabim, tremendously powerful waters. The teachings of the Tzaddik are mesmerizingly deep. But tonight, without getting too into the Torahs, which we're probably going to be doing tomorrow morning in our Sukkah, with our Chabura, with our Chevra, I just for a few minutes wanted to share a little bit of my heart, because it's the only thing I really know how to do these days. Not to give big drashas or anything else. It's very, very deep days. It's very powerful times. And I think what Rebbe Nachman spoke about quite often was the fact of losing our petty minds, pettiness, which on one level can be called mochin de katnut, which means a contracted, just a moach mitzumtzam, contracted mind, But what is it that Rebbe Nachman meant when he said that people suffer from petty minds? So I heard this from Reb Shlomo, and Reb Shlomo said it like this. He said that we all are trying to figure out what happened to us when we were kicked out of Gan Eden and how that happened. And we're all here, you and I are still here in this world, to attempt to try to fix the primordial sin, whatever that was exactly. Everyone thinks that the real Avera was, the sin was, is that we ate a wrong apple, we ate the fruit. But Rebbe Nachman says that a petty mind, it was the cause of what happened to us in the Garden of Eden. Meaning that as much as Adam HaRishon had such a huge godly revelation, he actually thought that if you do an Avera, you're kicked out of paradise. He actually thought that if you make a mistake, you're cut off. And that's such a sad, scary state to be in. We fall into that a million times a day. It's like Rebbe Nachman would always say, sin is bad, but guilt is evil. No one wants to feel that it's okay to do sins, chas v'shalom. But guilt is paralyzing. And with guilt, you can barely do anything in the world. It seems that Rebbe Nachman's Torah is the Torah of freedom. Not freedom to do whatever you want, but freedom to decide that you're always getting up, no matter what. And we live in a generation of self-persecution. We live in a Torah world, not just a generation, generally speaking. We live in such a Torah world where the concept of self-persecution was somehow made into sacred. And the Torah of the Tzaddik, the Torah of Rebbe Nachman, comes and lets us know, I don't know where you picked that up from, but that's not what this is all about. So I give us all a bracha tonight also, milad brachas, to rid ourselves of our mochin dekatnut, of our petty minds. To beg Hashem to graduate in that manner, in that area. To beg Hashem to open up the gates of deeper understanding, of going through deeper sharim, deeper gates of tevuna, of da'at, realizing that only a petty mind thinks that when you sin, you're done. There's a lot more to say on that, but like I said, we're just going to be touching on small things tonight. Just a few things. But anyway, I invite you to sit back in your sukkahs, in your beds, wherever you are. And just sing with me a little bit more. There is this certain tune that I'm still looking for over here online. I have to find it because when I sing this song, when I hear this song, I feel like everything's okay. And it really kind of makes me feel like it expresses everything that I feel about the Rebbe and that I feel about everything in Breslov. But for now, I think I can only find one paragraph of this, but definitely check out Karduner's copy of this song. I think it's called Shir Yedidut. That's what it's called, Shir Yedidut. Bear with me for 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to have, like I said before, just one paragraph of it. It's all I could find right now. If anyone has the actual words and they could email it to me, I'd be very, very thankful. ישמעי לאלם והוא יסקר סעילם כי זה כל האדם הוא רבנו וכל חוכמה ואמרתם כל חי אדוננו מכל חוכמה ראש בני ישראל הוא איש חי נחל נובע מכל חוכמה דדידאי 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 אדוננו מכל חוכמה הוא ראש בני ישראל הוא איש חי נחל נובע מכל חוכמה. Another one of my favorite Breslauer Nigunim is a Breslauer Nigun for Elul that we try to sing a lot here in Shul with our Chevra. שאלתי בייס השם בייס השם בייס אבקש אחת שאלתי בייס השם בייס השם בייס אבקש אוי שבתי בייס השם בייס השם כל ימי חיי לחזד בניים השם ולבוקר ביכולי שבתי בביס השם בביס השם כל ימי חיי לחזד בניים השם ולבוקר ביכולו דדדי 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 לדדי לידי אחת שאלתי בייס השם בייס השם בייס אבקש אוי אחת שאלתי בייס השם בייס השם בייס אבקש אוי שבתי בביס השם בביס השם כל ימי חיי לחזד בנעים השם ולבוקר ביכולי שבתי בביס השם בביס השם כל ימי חיי לחזד בנעים השם ולבוקר ביכולי דדידאי So why is it that we're sitting here for about, I don't know, half hour already, and I can't even express anything about what we feel about Rebbe Nachman? Why is it so hard to discuss this? I think it's because it's not about Rebbe Nachman. I think the whole chiddush of Rebbe Nachman, and perhaps the whole reason Well, he had a lot of statements that seemed to be very out there regarding connecting to him and to what he was about. I think it's just my humble take. I think that it's because the Rebbe's whole thing was not about him. It's just that he felt that he had a really, really powerful way for you to get to know you. As was mentioned before, he's boded us going out to the fields and speaking to Hashem in your own language and being committed to it and taking it on seriously and incorporating it into your daily ritual. Just like us Orthodox observant men wake up in the morning and we know we put on tefillin no matter what, we daven. Anything in the world can happen, but we're putting on tefillin and we're davening, right? So in the same manner, in the same way, a real chassid does not lose an opportunity for his bodhidus. Why? Because the Rebbe said, the tzaddik's words have power. Of course, we know that. We always know that. But I really feel stronger than ever that Rebbe Nachman's trip, if that's what you want to call it, was not about him. It was about you and me. I could personally just speak on my own behalf right now, although I probably could say this with many people. But right now it's about just us right now sharing our hearts. And please feel free to continue sharing your beautiful comments in the comments here. I have no idea how I could be a husband, how I could be a father, how I could be a son, how I could be a brother, how I could be anything of meaning without his bodhidus, without speaking about it to Hashem. How many people do we meet that tell us they were raised traditional, Orthodox, whatever, and they just don't connect to the Siddur? They say, how could I feel like I'm expressing myself through words that were written thousands of years ago? Well, there is a way, but let's put that on the side for now. You'll keep on davening, but what you must do is you must open your heart. And if you feel like no words are coming out, that's what you say. No words are coming out. And before you know it, you have a whole conversation about what's really going on. Is that the Rebbe's words go right into the inside of the kishkas. It could be that certain people are they're still a little bit pushed back because they don't want to fall into another name, into another label. They don't want to classify themselves as this is what we do. But if you think about it, Rebbe Nachman knew what he was doing when he said that he wants his Hasidim to be known as Breslovers. Dafka from the town of Breslov. Rebbe Nachman is not from the town of Breslov. Rebbe Nachman was born in Medjugorje. Rebbe Nachman was born in his great-grandfather's house, the Baal Shem Tov's house, and he passes away in Uman. He did spend 8 years approximately, the last 8 years of his life, besides the last 6 months which were in Uman, he did spend in Breslov, in the town of Breslov. But Rebbe Nachman spoke about this, and he said that he wants his Hasidim to be known as Breslovers because Breslov is the letters Lev Basar. Lev Basar. A heart of flesh. A heart that feels. How many Gilgulim, how many incarnations have we had? How many years have we spent? How many relationships have we been through? With a Lev Evan. With a heart of stone. And the whole thing of Rebbe Nachman's Torah and Rebbe Nachman's spirit and the fire that is just getting stronger and stronger. The whole thing was about having a Lev Basar. You see, and please be mochel me, those of you that are listening that might not like the following statement, but en ma'asot, you're just getting my heart tonight. When did demanding Mashiach and speaking about Mashiach be a Lubavitch thing? Isn't that a Jewish thing? And when did Hisbodedus, talking to Hashem, be a Breslov thing? Isn't that a Jewish thing? I think it's time. 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 that we take all the lost concepts that were lost over the years of exile, that have been returned to us by the great tzaddikim of the last few generations, specifically the ones whose light and energy and hashpa'ah and influence hovering over so many of us these days and penetrating into us a new spirit of Yiddishkeit. And just say that it's not about saying I am this type of chassid or this type of Litvish Yid. It's incorporating things into our Yiddishkeit that we know we cannot feel connected unless, for instance, we take on Hisbodedus for real. We can't feel that we're really part of bringing the great day to come unless we're consciously asking Hashem for the great day to come and speaking more about Mashiach, speaking more about the Geula. I feel that the Rebbe is so much bigger. He's so much bigger than whatever anyone tries to put him in. That he would want things to be like this, like that, like this. It's very holy to also say, I don't know exactly what the Rebbe would say about how things should be today in the world. But forget about the world for a second. Just go into your heart. Would the Rebbe want you to have a personal relationship with Hashem that always becomes new, more and more new, hitchadshut, where there's diburim chadashim, new words coming out of your mouth every single day? Of course. Start with that. Hey, maybe Uman will be your thing, maybe it won't. But isn't it much more important that the leiv basar is what we're working towards? All the other things are part of it, it's true. But alavai, 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 tonight we close our eyes and we just imagine what it was like 208 years ago in the city of Uman when the Rebbe was taking his last few breaths. And he said, En shum yeush ba'olam klal. There is no despair in the world. You and I are all living testimonies to that. You know why? How many times have we despaired before? Hundreds, if not thousands, and yet we're still here. So is there despair or isn't there despair? Well, there isn't, because despair, desperation, yeush means you've given up. But really, when you have a leiv basar, and when you have a personal relationship with the Ribono Shel Olam, en yeush ba'olam klal. And it's not for me to explain to you, because I'm just trying to do my own Dalet Amos in it, but you'll see for yourself. You'll see for yourself. Hitchadshut, hitbodedut, all the above is a gift that was given to this world. So let's sing the Rebbe's nigun. This is Rebbe Nachman's nigun. We sing it in our house in Shalosh Shidduchos. People sing it also at under chupot. Recent trips to Uman was late at night. I was sitting in BRI headquarters, Breslov Research Institute headquarters. My dear Chaver, Reb Chaim Kramer, Hashem should give him long, healthy, strong, deep years. So it was after a long day of traveling, and I was sitting and just talking about day that passed with my dear Chaver, Rabbi Avram Aryeh Trugman. We were there together. And Rabbi Trugman has beautiful, beautiful nigunim that are mainly in major, like I'm playing right now. My nigunim are my nigunim. The ones Hashem have, the few nigunim I have, they're mainly in minor. I've talked about that a few times. But he has a lot of them in major, more simchadik, more optimistic, more, I don't know, ray of light. So I was sitting next to him and I was feeling such a privilege to come and pray at these holy spots and to get strength to come back to Eretz Yisrael. And we were leaving early in the next morning, and this is the niggin that came down in Uman. Just give me a bracha to get to the studio really fast and record this one. This was a gift that came down in Uman. Anyway, it's getting very late. I have a big day tomorrow. Anyway, before you go to sleep, in honor of Rebbe Nachman, I would say, let's all do the following thing. Let's just focus on one good point in the person, the last person that we had to struggle with. Focus on one good point about them. Think about one holy thing they must have done. And don't allow yourself to see anything else. Just look at that one thing. And when you get back to that person, think about them an hour later, whenever else it is, keep on going back to that one nikuda. It's almost like it's one point, and you put it right in front of your eye, and when you open your eye, that's all you see, just what you put right in front of you. And let's start doing it with ourselves. Not out of being a cop-out, and not trying to run away from responsibility. But so many of us need to restart. We have to restart the way we understand what it means to be in a relationship with the Torah, what it means to be in a relationship with Hashem, and what it means to look inside and not be scared. Rabbi Nachman said, the most important thing is don't make yourself scared when you look inside, or when you look outside, whatever it is. But to start with that one nikudah of saying, for the next day, for the 18th of Tishrei, for this day of Sukkot, what is tonight, the 4th day already, right? Just for now, in the merit of this holy righteous tzaddik who left the world 208 years ago tonight, I'm choosing to take one nikudah, put that right in front of me, and not see anything else. And let yourself be surprised. L'chaim, mu'adim l'simcha, and thank you so much for all your incredible feedback and comments and inspiration, which gives me a lot of koach to keep on going. So I really thank each and every one of you.